Yo, did Dynamite go over tonight? Am I high? It went over tonight, right? By like 5 minutes? What the fuck? Episode 56, let's get this started. Yo! Let's see if I can get this mic. Alright. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Episode 56. Smells Like Wrasslin podcast on YouTube. Your host, Eric. Again, live from Long Island. Giving you the weekend wrestling and tonight's Dynamite review. I'm not going to lie, last couple of weeks of Dynamite, I got to say, wrestling-wise, like, I'm liking it. You know? And, like, I'm in the storylines, like, I'm liking it. It feels like now that they have a healthy roster and it's been healthy for a while and there haven't been any changes, it seems like now they're starting to invest in some storytelling little by little. Great episode. We have a lot to talk about. Not gonna lie, I felt like there wasn't really anything. Was this week the week that Jay turned on Sammy, right? That was last Monday night, right? Or this, yeah, it was last Monday night. Really, like, there really hasn't been much of anything really going on in WWE so far. I mean, you are going to get Dom and Ray at Mania. Ray being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, there's that, but, Cody's doing this Cody thing. He fought LA Knight. Love LA Knight. I really hope LA Knight gets a match at WrestleMania. I think he's fucking awesome. Things are kind of just going on. I feel like a lot of the news that I really want to talk about right now is what's going on with AEW. The fact that they announced another Forbidden Door. They really should be numbering them, to be quite honest. This should be considered Forbidden Door 2. Like, they count Manias, you know what I mean? Like, they should count Forbidden Doors. I think Forbidden Doors are worth having, like a count. Forbidden. I want to, like, be able to look forward, like, 10 years from now and be at, like, Forbidden Door 12, you know what I mean? Like, that would be cool. But, that is some awesome news. I got my G1 Supercard shirt to commemorate it. There's going to be, because you want to know why? It's going to be a night of fucking dream matches. If you're a fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling and you're a fan of, like, the American independent circuit and, like, North American pro wrestling, like, this is a great night. Like, the last Forbidden Door was fucking awesome. You know what I mean? There really isn't any, you don't really have to do any storytelling. It's just like, what two guys do I want to see in the ring together and have them work some magic? Like, that would be awesome. Royal in the chat saying, big post-Mania push plan for LA Knight. Good. I hope so. I hope he's going after, like, the U.S. title or maybe, like, the Intercontinental title. Something. Like, I want him to hold some gold. I don't think that the belt is going to go off of Cody anytime soon. I think if they end up splitting the belts, which I believe they should do, it's just better to it's better storytelling and more progression for all your characters if there's two main titles to go for. You know what I mean? Raw is important. SmackDown is important. Like, they've made, like, I don't feel like one show is kind of, like, lesser than the other, even though I think that Raw is harder to book. All right, so we got Process in the chat saying that Gunther is his pick to win Money in the Bank. I do think that Gunther is going to get a title shot. I don't know whether or not it's going to be from Money in the Bank. I think the way that they're going to book Gunther is he's going to demolish people like he did while holding the Intercontinental belt, and he's going to be that looming threat over Cody's entire reign. Like, watch, Gunther is going to be getting into some awesome feuds, and he's going to be dominating. And it's going to be, if they play it smart, it should be that he doesn't really challenge for the belt. If you want to give Cody, like, a decent run and you want him to be like your Cena 2.0, he should technically hold the belt until Mania of next year. Give him, like, a year-long reign and have him drop the belt to Gunther, who I think should win. Money in the Bank, I don't mind for Gunther, but I think he should be the next Royal Rumble winner. And he should be the one to pick what champion he's going to fight, and it should be Cody. Because Cody, like, just book it like you did Rocky IV. The big foreign invader, the American, hometown, whatever. Cody's the guy who never gives up. He's the fucking little engine that could. And then all of a sudden, Gunther, bam, starts chopping the shit out of him. And they're going to play back to how he tore his pec and how the chops are going to be really effective against Cody. And that's really going to be a weak point. Like, not many people are great choppers, but Gunther's a chopper. And that's how it's going to go down. That's how I think it's going to happen. But it is a strong possibility that they have Gunther win the Money in the Bank belt and he just holds on to it and just keeps on killing people and then cashes it in at Mania or something like that. Have him cash it in. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, because then you could have the guy who actually wins the Rumble, like, challenge for the SmackDown belt. Because I do think that Cody's going to be the champion of Monday Night Raw. I do think so. And I got a little bit of, someone mentioned this, I think, on the Matt Men podcast. And I forgot who it was, but I think it might have been Andrew Zarin. He mentioned this, and I might have the quote wrong as to who it was, because there are other people on that podcast. But, Cody kind of just, like, every single time Cody has the mic, it's like the Gettysburg fucking Address. It's this long-ass fucking promo about him being emotional and all this shit. Like, I kind of feel like at this point, Cody doesn't need to cut these promos anymore. It should be kind of a less is more kind of thing, Like, Cena, he really, when he would cut a promo, like, that was it, Like, it wasn't a long-ass promo. Like, sure, it would be, like, back and forth with people, but, like, Cody cuts monologues, You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just kind of feel like if Cody's going to be good long term and like he doesn't want the crowd to like be worn out like that, this is what happened to him in AEW. You know, he was just this like he wanted to be like the all-A #1 All-American champion. You know what I mean? The generally loved good guy champion. And it's like, yeah, but like it's the problem that we had with Cena. Like there's no character development for Cena. All Cena really did was never fucking give up. And he sure as fuck never gave up. That dude never tapped, never submitted, like nothing. You know what I mean? But like a lot of us fans were frustrated because you kind of want to see what you could do on the other side of the coin with the guy and see kind of what you like, or it kind of freshens up the character a bit. You know? That's what's going on with like with Roman. It wasn't working for him as a face. It wasn't working. He had to be, it was his heel turn that really solidified like how great, like this huge monster run that he's gone. You know what I mean? So it's like Cody needs to not make, he's doing the same thing he did in AEW. And and this crowd isn't that much different. You know what I mean? Like they, you know, like if he doesn't change it up or he doesn't add some more tricks to his gimmick, you know, they're going to turn on him. He's going to be this all-America guy that are just like, Jesus, fuck, he's just talking and he just keeps winning and talking and winning and talking, and it's the same thing every week. No, there's got to be some other level to him. Otherwise, they're just going to boo him again in 6 months, and then process is going to be right with Gunther winning the Money in the Bank. The second they're like, you know, they're kind of getting cold on Cody, it's time to pull the trigger on Gunther, boom, Gunther goes in. And you do it at like SummerSlam or Survivor Series or something like that. Or maybe at the next Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? That's a decent run, right? That's like, what, 10 months maybe? 8, 9, 10 months? Something like that. But, you know, like there's a lot, like I do think they should definitely split up the tag team titles. You know what I mean? There needs to be a SmackDown belt and like a, you know, like a Raw belt. Now, I'm of the opinion that if they do that, I don't think this necessarily is the right move because there are other people that could hold that belt that I'd like to see have a shot at being the guy on SmackDown. But if they split those belts, there's good money on it's going back to Roman again. You know what I mean? He could still be, and then all of a sudden you've rebuilt his character. There's no more bloodline. You know, they don't have any belts. You know, like there's a, you know, you could possibly do something with his character. But like otherwise, you know, it might be a good idea to, I don't know, but like if you're going to take Roman off of TV, like you got to give something to the Usos. If you're going to keep Roman on TV and have him be this special attraction, you gotta have a good storyline for him to sink his teeth into that people will still care. Technically, they should be caring about the main belts first. It's not the Roman show. You know what I mean? But I don't know. There's a lot that's up in the air. And a lot of people still think, well, okay, let me rephrase that. There are some, I've of course perused the internet like the rest of you. And, you know, there are some people who think that maybe Roman shouldn't lose the belt at Mania. All right? Now, let me tell you this right now. That's the dumbest fucking idea I've ever heard in my entire goddamn life. All right? Roman's almost had the belt for 3 fucking years. How much longer does he need to hold on to the belt? What more can you do with him as a champion? He's beaten everyone. Everyone. Royal has a good point. They have no plans for Roman without the belt. This is what I'm saying. If I'm in agreement with Royal, which means that if Cody splits the belt, there is good fucking money that Roman ends up getting the SmackDown belt, and he's champion on SmackDown, and he's gonna do the same fucking shit, and he'll probably have the belt for another 2 years, maybe. 2 years of Roman on SmackDown, beating everybody. This is the thing. He's beaten everyone. So my question to you guys is that if Roman does end up somehow after, let's say, if Roman's going to have a title belt, all right, before SummerSlam, how is he going to get it? And what are you going to do with him after? You know what I mean? Who's he going to face? I don't know. Do you put him against McIntyre? because probably good money is Sheamus is going to win the IC belt. They keep on saying this is the belt that Sheamus has never won. This is the belt that Sheamus has never won. I have a good, and he's on fire right now. It's Sheamus's time to win the IC belt at Mania, okay? Which means McIntyre doesn't have a belt. So it's possible that McIntyre could end up, having another feud with Roman and maybe possibly taking the belt off of him. I think, honestly, you should only extend Roman's reign, extend his title reign, for as long as it takes for you to build up the next challenger. Because the next challenger from Roman should if you're going to have him have the belt again, should take it off of him. Period. So if you want to let Roman have the belt for maybe 1 more year or maybe 6 more months, you know what I mean? 6 more pay-per-views because they have a pay-per-view every fucking month. Then yeah, then all of a sudden then it should be somebody to take it from him. Maybe give it to Rollins. Rollins is fucking over, but I think Rollins is going to end up... Rollins is destined to be the Act 2 of Cody's reign. Act 1 is him winning at Mania and then him defending and doing whatever. Act 2 is going to be his nemesis Rollins, which he will defend and beat him for the... Rollins is not winning the title, but he's going to end up losing that feud. And then Act 3 is going to be like the end game for Cody, and that's going to be Gunther. That's how I see it going down. I think that's the smart money. You put a couple of guys in between, boom, have him have a really big feud with Rollins, have it culminate maybe at SummerSlam or Survivor Series or Rumble, depending on how long you want to let this thing build. And then right after that, then Cody gets another couple of wins, then Gunther. And either from winning the Money in the Bank or winning the Royal Rumble or just beating the shit out of everybody. That's what I think. But, like, if you're going to put the belt back on Roman, like, there's got to be a plan. There's got to be a plan aside from he has the belt. Let's get into the Dynamite review for tonight. Pretty stacked card because it was their first time in Canada. They were in Winnipeg, Canada, home of both Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. We have the World Trios titles are up for grabs. The Elite, the former champs versus House of Black, the current champs versus Jericho Appreciation Society. Hangman Page and Dark Order against the Blackpool Combat Club. We're going to hear from MJF. He's getting bar mitzvahed. You're going to hear from the Outcasts, which is the name of the group of Tony Storm, Saraya, and Ruby Riott. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to Google up what actually happened in that segment because I fast forwarded through the whole fucking thing. I have another job and I got home late and I skipped through those segments because they are always fucking boring. Orange Cassidy defends the international title against Jeff Jarrett. Jade Cargill has an open Canadian challenge to fight a Canadian wrestler. I skipped over that shit too because there ain't no fucking way. As soon as I saw who was challenging, I knew no fucking way. No fucking way. And, of course, I was right. But they did introduce Taya Valkyrie, so there's that. We hear from QTV, which I actually thought was a little clever. We'll go over that as well. And, yeah. So, first match of the night wasn't a match. It started off with the bar mitzvah of MJF. I thought this was really awesome. I thought that they... obviously they're gonna. Looks like they're gonna do like a 4 pillars match, like a fatal 4-way for it. I think it's awesome. Obviously MJF should win. It's none of the other 3 guys' time yet. I do think that that Darby is destined to take this belt off of MJF. I will say this forever. Darby is destined to take the belt off of MJF. It'll happen next year, around the time probably close to the next All Out or maybe the next Double or Nothing, something like that. Maybe the next Revolution. Whenever MJF's contract is up, I think that his contract is going to end and he's going to lose the belt and you're not going to see him on TV for a while and then he'll come back at some point in time, but then Darby will be champion. That's what I'm leaning on. So MJF comes to the ring with a whole bunch of hot chicks. None of them this time was his fiance like the last time. Streamers fell. he immediately told the Canadian crowd that Shawn was better than Bret. What an asshole. They had a whole bunch of people come out with a chair, and they hoisted him up, and they were singing Hava Nagila, and even Taz was singing. It was fucking fantastic. All right, MJF in full Jew mode, and it was amazing. Jungle Boy Jack Perry, he comes out, interrupts the segment. Before he could say anything, Sammy Guevara comes out, and his music starts playing, and right when he was about to talk, obviously, it was destined to happen. Darby Allin comes out. Darby, who we haven't seen since he lost the belt from Samoa Joe, I think, when he lost the TNT belt. So, MJF was wearing like this fuzzy hat, sunglasses. You end up finding out later in the segment that he was only wearing that ridiculousness because he looked like shit. Because I think this is like the first time we saw him since his match with Danielson, and he looked like he got the crap kicked out of him, which is true. Danielson did beat the crap out of him for about an hour before MJF came away with the title. All three guys at the same time verbatim said, "We want a title match." When MJF asked what did they want, they all said it all at the same time. It was actually very well timed, so that was pretty cool. Jungle Boy said that him and MJF wrestled at the first pandemic pay-per-view, which was Double or Nothing. That was in Jacksonville in 2020. MJF obviously cheated to win. I think he had the Dynamite ring at that time, and he laid out Jungle Boy for the win. Jungle Boy said that he had to wrestle on Dark, he had to wrestle on Elevation, he had to wrestle on Rampage. MJF gets to do whatever he wants. People in the back are clamoring for 60 seconds of television time a week. He gets 20 minutes. All the opportunities have been handed to him, blah, blah, blah. And all he does is do the same hokey bullshit every week when others bust their asses to get, television time, in which the crowd started chanting hokey bullshit. MJF said the AEW revolves around him because he's a star. Sammy Guevara cuts him off. Said he's going to turn the rebar mitzvah into a recircumcision. Guevara talked about all the odd jobs he worked. He worked at Subway. He worked at In-N-Out Burger to get to where he was at while he was working on the independents for about 10 plus years. Guevara said he was supposed to be the bump guy for Jericho, but then all of a sudden he became the TNT champion multiple times without the machine behind him. And he was kind of like cutting like a babyface-esque promo until he said that he's going to prove him wrong and all the idiots in Canada wrong, and then they all booed him. So, obviously Sammy's is a heel. So there was that. MJF ended up mentioning he was like, hey, don't you have to get into any locker room brawls in the back? Obviously referencing the fights he got into with Andrade, and didn't he get into a fight with somebody else? Didn't he get into a fight with like two fucking people? Maybe, who the fuck was it? I don't know. Didn't Sammy Guevara get into like two backstage fights? One was with Andrade, but who was the other one? With Eddie Kingston. So, he made mention to that. Darby Allin interrupted, said, he went to film school. The film said, we don't want to play a movie like this. So he said, I'm going to drop out if I can, if you guys wanted me to change how I express myself. He said it was a blessing in disguise because he ended up becoming a professional wrestler. He studied at the Buddy Wayne Academy, which I think takes place in stationed in Seattle, Washington. He said that he said he wasn't changing who he was, whether he has success or not. He told MJF there's not going to be a bidding war for Darby Allin because AEW has given him what he wanted, which is the opportunity for him to be himself. He said there's a whole bunch of grown wrestlers in the back who go on social media and cry about not getting what they want, especially like MJF. He said if MJF doesn't if MJF doesn't give him what he wants, then he joked saying that he was going to go on Twitter about it, but he actually said he's going to beat his face in with a skateboard until he takes it. MJF has had enough. He takes his sunglasses off. He has two black eyes from the Iron Man match. Darby flat out goes, dude, you look like shit. He talks about he talks about Sammy Guevara proposing to another girl in 7 months, saying that When Darby came in, they gave him Sting. When Jungle Boy came in, they gave him Christian. When Sammy came in, they gave him Jericho. And he was just like, all you guys had to be in AEW Daddy Daycare. They didn't put me with anybody. I'm the only pillar who could keep this place up. He's beaten them all in singles matches. They don't deserve to sniff the AEW title. MJF then kind of pie faces Jack Perry, who hits him in the back of the head with the microphone. Guevara and Darby Allin started to brawl after Guevara hit Jungle Boy with a running knee. MJF gets knocked off of an apron onto a table with his birthday cake on it. Totally takes the entire cake like a pro. It was fucking hysterical. And that was pretty much it. So it looks like they're going to be setting up, I would say, a fatal four-way for the AEW title at Double or Nothing, which should be a fucking incredible match. MJF, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, and Sammy. Just those four talents in the ring, I know it's going to be an incredible match. Darby is insane. Sammy is insane. Jungle Boy isn't bad in the ring, and MJF's incredible. That's going to be an incredible match. I can't wait to see it. This pay-per-view already has my money. Excalibur talked about Chris Jericho being honored with his own street, Chris Jericho Way. They actually changed the name of his hometown street to Chris Jericho Way in Manitoba, which was pretty cool. This was we have another trios match, the ongoing feud between the Blackpool Combat Club and Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order continues. Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta defeat Hangman Adam Page, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson. I gotta say, guys, the quality of the match tonight was awesome. I mean, even with the commercial breaks, the stuff that you got to see on TV with commentary was incredible. Great match. A lot of people popped for Stu Grayson because, you know, we haven't seen him in AEW in a while. I think he actually got released last year, so I guess maybe they brought him back. It seems like they're trying to do something with Dark Order. They haven't been doing anything since Hangman won the belt. And, you know, like now, like they have new music and you're starting to see Evil Uno, wrestle more, and he's not in his fucking onesie. You still haven't, you got to see a little bit more of, John Silver and, Alex Reynolds. Like there's stuff like I'm seeing the Dark Order more and more on AEW television, especially on Dynamite. So I guess I don't know where this is leading. Are we already due for Blood and Guts? Is it already that time of the year? Because I feel like we'll talk more because it gets complicated now with Hangman. Great match. Stu Grayson, huge reaction. These guys beat the ever living shit out of each other, but and actually the Blackpool Combat Club was kind of like playing as heels. They were chop block and leg. Well, actually the Blackpool Combat Club kind of always plays pretty like rough, but I think, where was it in my notes? I can't remember. I don't think I put it in my notes. Paul Driver, blind tag. Oh, yeah. Wheeler Yuta clocked Hangman Page with the ring bell. That's straight up heel. The Blackpool Combat Club are now, like, these heels. But everyone fucking loves them. So it's just weird. They do heel shit. I mean, they did get booed. But, like, I just feel like every single time the Blackpool Combat Club comes out, they're going to get... Yeah, they're gonna get cheered. Wild Thing is like the hype music. Moxie comes out, he doesn't flip anybody off, he doesn't call them assholes, nothing. He comes out like a fucking hero. So I don't know how that's gonna go down. Juice Robinson had a pre-recorded promo talking about how he laid out Ricky Starks. Says that Starks isn't gonna do a damn thing about it, and what he did to his injured neck. So there's obviously a later promo in the night with Ricky Starks, so we'll get more info on that. Jade Cargill with Layla Gray defeated Nicole Matthews to retain the TBS title. This was a really, really fucking quick match. And then all of a sudden, Taya Valkyrie comes out, who it looks like she's probably going to be the next challenger for Jade. She's not going to win. I still do think that this belt is going to end up going to Chris Statlander, unless her rehab is taking way too long and Tony's like, enough is enough, and they're going to put it on Taya and for her to be a transition champion for Statlander. But honestly, it should be Statlander beating Jade. Jade is the longest reigning champion in AEW history, no matter what division. So, like, you know, they should put over Statlander big. She's definitely a future star of this women's division. She does really need to work on her mic work and her character. Like, now that she's not being as alien-ish, you know, like, but I still think, like, her promos cut like an NXT promo, and they kind of suck. So she definitely needs to get that better before I feel comfortable, like, saying, like, yeah, she's definitely a star in this company. But she's got a lot of potential. She's got fan following. She's got in-ring. She's definitely great in the ring. You know, she just needs to work a little bit more on her character, and they need to give her an opportunity to express her character in other ways than her, like, touching people's noses and booping people before she was a silly girl. You can't be silly and be a champion, all right? So, you know, let's see. Anywho, yeah, Jade beat her in, like, fucking 30 seconds. It was fucking great. Shivani's backstage with Ricky Starks. Who said it was relevant to be in the Bullet Club in 2015, and if Starks has an issue with and if there's an issue that Juice has with Ricky, they could do it anytime, any place. So this is obviously the next step in Ricky's path to whatever. I mean, I'm assuming they should be building him up as they're building up Hobbs as a champ, and then Ricky should take the belt off from Hobbs. I think Ricky needs gold. I think Hobbs needs to be a monster champion, and I think there's enough history with them that it could be a pretty compelling story. So, we'll see. They showed another video splicing in clips from Shazam! Fury of the Gods with Orange Cassidy and Jeff Jarrett. The Shazam movie looks like shit, so who cares? So tonight was the debut edition of QTV, and it's pretty much a spoof on the show TMZ. And they have a couple of people acting as like they were reporters, and they cut to a video of Aaron Solo being the one who broke into Wardlow's car and stole the TNT belt. So, and they talked about stealing his passport, so they debuted all this while he couldn't get into Canada. They compare Wardlow to being Batista, but not successful. And Hobbs says Hobbs is going to have an open challenge on Rampage for the TNT title, and that's pretty much it. Orange Cassidy defeats Jeff Jarrett. You know, it's fine. You know, there was no way they were going to give Jeff Jarrett the international belt. Orange Cassidy looks good with gold, but it's like they need to do something with this belt. It needs to have some meaning. I mean, he's beating guys, but like, I don't know. I just, like, Orange Cassidy is tough to write stories for because he's like, okay, I'll fight. All right, cool. You know, it's really only when he gets emotional when you beat the shit out of the friends that he has. So, I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, I have a feeling, honestly, that there's a strong possibility that he's going to drop that belt at Forbidden Door to someone and maybe even, it's possible that someone in New Japan takes this belt and they just defend it in New Japan and they defend it on New Japan Strong and they defended on the indies. You know what I mean? I think it's easier for someone from another fucking promotion to win the belt and travel than apparently it is for someone in AEW to win the belt and travel. That belt should be a traveling belt. Whoever has that title, they should be defending it on the indies. And that should be an attraction match where Orange Cassidy just goes to all these indie shows and fights some of the best wrestlers that they have, and they put on awesome matches. He puts them over. He wins. AEW champ keeps on going. But they're not doing that. It's just another belt for them on TV. And to be quite honest, like, they don't have a lot of television time to be wasting it on a guy just beating everybody week after week, and then he loses it once a pay-per-view. You know? They got to do something more. The belt needs to travel. They need to put clips of it being defended on Dynamite so we just let everyone know it's being defended. It shows that other promotions get AEW talent to come see them, and you can see meaningful matches, and the footage will be on fucking Dynamite. I think it makes fucking sense. You know? I don't think it's just another belt on television now, and it's just I don't feel like it's being utilized properly, and I think some of you would agree with me. The Acclaim had a cool music video. I don't know what's gonna happen. All right, so these are the notes that I found from the internet about the segment with the Outcasts. And this is like the first time I'm reading it, so you're gonna get to see my reactions live because I really did fucking fast forward throughout the entire thing. I want to try and be on time, so I like to be able to broadcast here at 10. I don't want to be waiting 20 minutes to watch shit that I know I'm not going to like. So here we go. The Outcasts come to the ring. Saraya, Ruby Soho, and Toni Storm told the fans to shut up. Soho said, once upon a time, the grass is supposed to be greener in AEW until two bitches that aren't housebroken pissed all over the grass. Saraya said they're going to show AEW is their house, and without them, they wouldn't be a women's division. And then they called the fans neckbeards and fat. Toni Storm said she put a smile on her face when she was the interim champion, but the fans didn't respect her. And they're going to love going through all the rookies like Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale and Riho and Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. And then Hayter and Baker come to the ring and beat the shit out of him. And Baker was about to whip Soho, and she gets jumped by Saraya and Toni Storm. Baker gets laid out with Destination Unknown. Storm hits Storm Zero on Hayter. Riho runs out with Nightingale and Sky Blue. They gave Riho a pipe. And that's pretty much it. Who the fuck cares? All right? Who the fuck cares? All right? The whole thing with the Outcasts is dumb. Them spray painting people. The women's division doesn't need this. They don't need a heel faction. They need to start showcasing one-on-one talent. They don't have a trios division. They don't have a tag division. But all they do is have trios and tag matches. And then every once in a while, they have a singles match for the belt. Like, enough. All right? You want to impress me? Start having matches like Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida every week. Take the best women's wrestlers that you have and let them put on 20-minute bangers. You know what I mean? Just book them to have awesome matches. And then start building characters about the people who they get behind based on the in-ring talent. You know what I mean? Like, Riho could be having great matches, but like, she just doesn't fit in that division. It's just very hard to take, she's like yay big. You know what I mean? Like, every woman in that division is like monstrous. I just don't feel like the Rey Mysterio gimmick is works for Riho. She should go back to Stardom or whatever, you know? But like, we need more women. Like, we need women like Statlander. I want to, and fucking Jamie Hayter, you know, Ruby Soho, she's not bad, you know, she's definitely got some, like, in-ring skill, you know, Britt Baker's getting better, you know, there's, like, just give me something, you know what I mean, because, like, you have to understand, guys, you have a company that has guys like Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Malachi Black, you know, like, awesome in-ring technicians. And then they're teaming up with, you know, companies like New Japan that have Okada, Naito, Will Ospreay, Zack Sabre Jr., you know, Tanahashi. We're talking about some of the best professional wrestlers on the planet are able to walk through the forbidden door and go to and from AEW and New Japan and some of the indies. Now, there's a good chunk of awesome professional wrestlers in WWE, but let's be real. The vast majority of the best technical wrestlers on the planet exists outside of WWE just because of their ability to interpromote. Why should I lower what I'm looking for? You know what I mean? It's not like if I want to see 2 hours of banger matches, I want to watch 2 hours of banger matches. And if the women aren't putting on banger matches, then put on my fucking Dark Elevation. All right? I want to see matches like Hikaru Shida versus Jamie Hayter. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Those are fucking awesome matches. You know what I mean? When the matches between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, you know, when they had the Lights Out match, when they had the Hell in the Cell match, awesome, you know. There were actual matches with Statlander and Nyla Rose, which were pretty good. Statlander had a great match with actually she had a really great match at All Out with Britt Baker. The day that Danielson and everyone else debuted. So, like, it's there, people. They just don't book the matches. You got a problem? It's not, your problem isn't with me. I'm letting you know that there's a problem. The problem's with fucking Tony. Tony needs to start booking better matches for the women. Because, like, right now, like, there's just shit matches. And then they're just shit freaking promos and shit also. It's just, I hate it. You know? It's just old, and it's old hat. It's tiring. All right? Give me something new. Give me something that competes with the storylines that you're doing for everyone else in the company. You know? But it's like, goddamn. Like, Toni Storm, like, do not give her the mic for longer than 30 seconds. It is atrocious. It is atrocious. God damn. Matt Menard and Angelo Parker talk about the music video. They've been trying to get them to join the Jericho Appreciation Society. I assume the next feud for the Acclaimed is going to be 2.0. I love 2.0. If they're on my television more, I'm all the better for it because I think they're a fantastic tag team and they have great character. And Matt Menard is fucking hysterical, always talking about how hard his nipples are and shit. But it looks like, I don't know, they're going to do something on Rampage, so we'll see. Trios match for the titles to end the night. House of Black, which consists of Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King, along with Julia Hart. They defeated the Elite, which was Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson. They came to the ring with the whole fucking cadre, Don Callis, Nakazawa, and Cutler. Because Nakazawa comes out with Kenny, and Cutler comes out with the Bucks, and Don comes out with all of them. And the Jericho Appreciation Society, which was Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, and Sammy Guevara. This is an awesome fucking trios match. There's some very real interesting stuff going on here with the way the match ended. So much to go through during the match. It was high octane the entire match. They made a point to get Jericho and Kenny in the ring. They did a lot of double teaming against Brody King. So it was a way to kind of see them team together in front of their hometown crowd and fight each other all at the same time. I thought that was very clever. So at the end of the match, Jake Hager hits the ring to jump House of Black. House of Black beats the shit out of him. Blackpool Combat Club and the Dark Order have been brawling backstage since the middle of the trios match. There was a segment where they actually went to picture-in-picture, but they cut it to the back. And it was John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and Hangman against Claudio, Yuta, and Moxley. This ended up spilling onto the stage once the trios match was over. Silver and Reynolds get taken out because they end up pile driving him onto the stage. Hangman finds himself alone against Moxley, Claudio, and Yuta. The Elite jumped in behind him for backup. Paige didn't realize this, sees the Blackpool Combat Club kind of like drift off. Crowd goes fucking nuts, by the way, because this is the Elite reunion that they've been building towards since the beginning of AEW. The final shot of the show, which did go over, I wasn't that high, but the final shot of the show was Adam Page turning around slowly and recognizing it was the Elite who had his back at the end and got the Blackpool Combat Club to back off. So I don't know what's going to happen. There's some real interesting stuff going on with the Blackpool Combat Club, and the Elite, and the Dark Order. I think the reason why they started bringing people back from the Dark Order, I don't know. There's a lot that can happen because these are trios teams. But the Dark Order is an actual faction. They have more than 3 people. The only person who's shared locker rooms with these guys is Hangman. Hangman's been part of the Elite. Hangman's been part of Dark Order. He has not been part of Blackpool Combat Club, and neither has anyone in the Blackpool Combat Club been a part of either Dark Order or the Elite. So it's a very interesting thing that they're brewing up here. I don't know necessarily where it's going. I don't know how you could fit in everyone from Dark Order and Hangman and the Elite and the Blackpool Combat Club, but it does give those guys something to do that doesn't have to do with a title belt, and I'm all for it as long as it's just compelling, as long as it's television I actually like to watch, So, anywho, that's the end of the show. Rampage is going to be Powerhouse Hobbs defending against Rey Fenix. Taya Valkyrie makes her in-ring debut, and Matt Menard and Angelo Parker take on the Bollywood Boys. In Dynamite next week, it's Hook versus Stokely Hathaway in a no disqualification match. So obviously Stokely's going to bring out everybody from the firm. I just have no idea how Hook is supposed to beat the shit out of all these guys, or is Hook going to get his first L in AEW when the odds are stacked against him? So we will see. Guys, that's it. That's the end of the show. I'm tired. I got the day off tomorrow. I want to play some Call of Duty and maybe a little Destiny. It's going to be great. And eat some really unhealthy food that I got planned right next to me. I want to thank all you guys for tuning in. I want to thank Royal and Process in the chat for participating. And I just want to let all you guys know I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching every week. I know it's all these people I know because I don't market this shit at all. But eventually I will, but not quite yet. Once we take this to the next level, once we get to 2.0 of this podcast, you're gonna see some really cool shit, and then we're gonna start to take over. Thank you everyone for tuning in. My name is Eric. This is Smells Like Wrasslin. I will see you guys next week for another roundabout talk about the world in wrestling and your AEW Dynamite post-show review. Take care, guys.